Hello, everybody, and welcome to the monthly Oracle Wisdom for September 2025. I don't know about you, but I cannot believe that we are already in the month of September, but here we are. So we are doing pick a pile. I'm going to show you the crystals that I have on each of the piles. Take a moment to think about which one appeals to you more, and that's the pile for you. And if there's two that you can't decide between, there's probably messages for you in both of those piles. So pile number one, we have the red tiger's eye. So that's pile number one. Pile number two is my orange calcite owl. I love this guy with his tiger eye eyes. So that's pile number two. And then pile number three is shungite. We're speaking nothing but the truth here today. So take a moment and think about which of these stones appeals to you more. You've got the red tiger's eye, which is pile number one, orange calcite owl, which is pile number two, and pile number three is the shungite truth palm stone. Okay, we are going to get started with pile number one. Okay, so for those of you that picked the red tiger's eye, we're going to get started. Now, the first deck that we're using is the Future Higher Self Oracle, which is a MahrukhX deck. So the first card out is give yourself some credit for how far you've come. I feel like you've been on this journey and you're not yet where you want to be or where you believe you need to be. And so you're focused on that versus looking at how far you've actually come. And you have to give yourself credit for all of the work that you've done, because every day where you get up and you keep moving towards this goal, and every day where you make even the tiniest gain, that's a win. You're getting that much closer. And so you have to focus on that, because not only is that important to give yourself credit, it's what is going to help you continue moving forward. The next card out is if all you're doing is waiting for the really big moments, you won't value and appreciate the small ones. And this speaks directly to this first card that's come out. Give yourself some credit for how far you've come. You're waiting to celebrate the big achievement. And when you get there and when you hit that goal, you should absolutely celebrate it as hard as you want to, need to, or you feel is important. But these tiny wins, the days where you hit the mini milestones, they need to be celebrated as well, because first of all, this life, you need to experience joy. You need to realize that it's not always about the end goal and where you have to end up. It's about the journey. And I know it's such a cliched thing to say, but the reality is, it is the journey. It is those moments of getting to where you want to be. And often when we're striving towards something, by the time we get there, it looks different to how we pictured it originally. And if you reflect back on the journey that you've had in getting yourself there, that was the exciting part. Figuring out the workarounds, getting past the hurdles and the blocks that you thought were there that you would never get past. Those are all wins. And that's what gives you a better understanding of yourself and how you deal with adversity. It teaches you about the world and what's really going on out there. It teaches you about the universe and how it will always redirect you when you're moving in the wrong direction. So you need to think about all of this. You need to celebrate those wins. I always, when I have a really big goal, I make a point of looking at the end goal. And generally, I have some pretty big dreams of what it is I want to achieve. And I look at where I need to end up. And then I sit there and go, okay, now what I have to do is figure out how I get there, because it seems impossible. And so for me, then I break it up into tinier stepping stones that I need to achieve in order to get to the big goal. And it makes it feel a lot less overwhelming. And then I look at that and go, okay, how am I going to do all of this? It's such a huge amount of work, and I don't even know where to begin. And so then I focus on the very first step that I need to take. And that's where I go, okay, I can do this. I can take the first steps to hit those points that I need to get to that first stepping stone. And then once I'm there, you go, all right, how do I get to the next one? And you figure that out. And all of a sudden, when you're halfway there, you look back and you go, I have come so far. And the big goal doesn't look quite as imposing. It's like hiking a really big mountain. You pull up and you go, what am I doing? I'm insane. And once you start and you're just focused on getting that, taking one step at a time and working your way up there, even if you have to stop 10 times, all of a sudden when you're halfway up, you go, ugh, still looks insurmountable, but I know I can do it. Because then you look back and you go, look at how high I've climbed, or look at how difficult that terrain was, and I'm fine. So just remember that this is part of the journey that you're on. Something from your past will resurface. It's okay to revisit. So don't forget, we've got a few planets retrograde. I know we definitely have Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde. I don't think Uranus is retrograde yet. We're definitely out of Mercury retrograde. So it makes sense that there are things that will come up from our past. And sometimes the beauty of having these things come up from the past is we get closure on something that maybe was important. And I know people always go, don't go back to your past, don't go back to your past. Sometimes we need a break from whatever it was for us to grow up, for other people to grow up, for a situation to sort of shift, for our own growth, and then we move forward. So there are times where going back to the past, it actually works quite well. There are other times where it does come up literally just for us to get closure. So just know that whatever's coming up in September, it's fine if you go back and take a moment and go back there for whatever reason you need to. Just make sure you're being honest with yourself about why you're going back. You're creating a you that you will be proud of. See, so this journey that you're on, you're creating everything that you want. This is why it's so important that you value these moments that are coming up, because you're doing something incredible. You're doing something that is shifting your life and either accelerating sort of the journey to where it is you want to go, or you are completely just changing the direction of your life. I don't know which one it is, and maybe it's dependent on who is watching this. But know that the direction that you're moving in is everything that is going to make you happy. And this is why it's so important to celebrate those small wins along the way, because you need to enjoy it and it's going to fuel you moving forward. I also think that when you get the visit from your past, it's going to highlight just how much you've grown. I have some people from my past, and there's one person in particular that I'm thinking of. And he's one of the great loves of my life. And there's three of them total. And this particular one, we were not meant to end up together in this life, but there is a love, there is a soul connection. It is what it is. We get together when he's in town, and if I was to go to where he's living, I know there would be dinners and we would catch up, and it's amazing. And I so enjoy those moments that I have with him. However, I sit there and it highlights how much I have changed and how much I have grown from that time when we were together. I am very aware of why it wasn't meant to be in this life, and that's okay. And I look at him and he is the same. He is the same wonderful human. He just wasn't meant to walk with me on the rest of this life. And I am grateful for every single solitary visit that we have. I'm grateful for the friendship that we have. And I'm grateful for those moments of being able to go back and feel that connection and that closeness and that friendship. And that's where it stays. So just know that when you go back, it's sometimes a really good, really healing and really therapeutic thing for yourself. All the right things come to you in the most unexpected ways. I said when I first started pulling these cards that on this journey, the universe will redirect us and create roadblocks and divine timing, all of that. But it's how that happens, which is what gives us the gifts along the way that we didn't expect. And if it happened in a way that we had pictured in our heads, it's just not the same. So just know that the universe is always working in your favor and things are going to pop up. And out of the blue, there can be days where you sit there and think, I've hit the end. There's nothing else I can do. And all of a sudden, a door that you didn't know existed opens up and an opportunity presents itself and you're able to push forward through that. So just trust. Okay, so then we're moving on to messages from Spirit Oracle, which is another MahrukhX deck. Justice, order, righted wrongs, and law. If you've encountered unfair treatment, trust that your guardian angels will provide clarity to help you resolve the situation in your favor and restore harmony back into your life. I have a feeling like this is something from your past is resurfacing. There's going to be something that comes up, almost feel like karma in a sense that you're finally getting the resolution that you've wished for, hoped for, didn't think would come up. And sometimes it's a matter of just a wrong being righted. So I almost wonder if it's somebody coming to finally tell you you were right about something that you maybe didn't agree on at the time. And it could be if part of what you're moving through, if there is a legal element to it, or a settlement that needs to take place, that is going to finally be resolved. Smooth travel, adventure, relocation. You are currently traveling in the right direction. Any plans you make should go through smoothly with no interruptions. There is still so much to learn and discover throughout this experience. So you are on the right path. You are moving in the right direction. And again, you've got to remember that you're in this process of creating the version of you that you are going to be proud of. So you have to trust that. If you're questioning it, this is your confirmation that it is happening. And I feel like the adventure part of that card is working in a couple of different ways. One, the road that you are on is an adventure. It is part of this exciting journey that you're on. In a more literal sense, there could be travel or you're relocating this month, or maybe it's the decision to relocate. And that could be moving house, maybe shifting the business where that is. Maybe it's just going on a trip. But there is something about a journey that is coming up. And I feel like it's all good. Just trust and say yes to the adventure, say yes to the exciting things that pop up for you, because it's all for your benefit. It's all for your growth. And then the final one from the messages from Spirit is Cosmic Dancer, optimism, hope, and rhythm. Lighten up, play, enjoy this moment, see the many, many blessings in your life, and more blessings will follow. Have faith that things are going to turn out beautifully. Yeah, I feel like you've been questioning You've been questioning whether you're doing the right thing. You're questioning whether you're moving in the right direction. And everything that has come up in this reading is that you are. So take this as confirmation that, yes, you are doing the right thing. Yes, you are moving in the right direction. Remember this person that you've dreamed about, that you know is who you are, but you've been in the process of really tapping into that. Trust that the journey is going to go smoothly. All of these cards keep coming out to tell you that you're moving in the right direction and that you need to enjoy this process. I feel like you're taking it so seriously. And I do understand when you're going through a major life shift, it can be difficult because you question everything and you've always got the naysayers that want to keep you exactly where you are. They want to keep you there because that's what serves them. And it's easy to stay in a place that we know and we understand and we're comfortable with, and stepping out of that can be incredibly difficult. But this is exactly what you need. So trust that you're moving in the right direction. Give yourself credit. Celebrate those wins because all of it is good and it is going to keep being good. And law of attraction, if you're coming from a place of gratitude, the universe gives you more. If you're coming from a place of lack, that's when you struggle. So these people are like, I have no money, I have no money, I have no money. Money keeps disappearing for them. But when you're in a place of, I am so grateful, I have everything that I need, everything is working out in my favor, the universe will reward that and continue to provide. So trust that, know that it's there. We are going to finish up with the Spirit Animal Oracle, which is a Colette Reid deck. So the first card out is Stag Spirit. Take the lead. It is time for you to stop playing small. Step out into the world. Let them see your magnificent antlers and your beauty. Remember, while I don't enjoy hunting at all, vegetarian for 30 plus years, I understand why people hunt, and I can support it if people are eating what they have hunted. With that being said, you think about all the homes, lodges, accommodation where people have the stags mounted on their walls. It's because they are beautiful and people want to hang on to that beauty. These animals are strong and regal and just magnificent. And it's time for you to realize that that is who you are. You don't need to be mounted on somebody's wall, but you get the metaphor, right? And then I had planned to only pull one of these cards for each of the piles, but two jumped out for each of them, so two it is. So the other one is Wasp Spirit. Sometimes life stings. I feel like this is what you've been dealing with. You felt like life is really, really difficult. And this is part of why you've been hesitant about moving forward on this journey. It's part of why you haven't been celebrating these wins for yourself. But it's time to let this go and step into this. I hope this reading resonated with all of you. As I always say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And we are going to move on to pile number 2. So for those of you that picked the orange calcite owl, we are now looking at pile number 2. So starting with the future higher self oracle, you're going to master your material reality in the future. I'm going to pull the next card before I get into this because I feel like it's going to be significant. It was a necessary ending so that you can pursue the life you're destined to lead. Leave the past behind. Okay. I feel like there has been an ending that has possibly been a little traumatic or something that you didn't want to happen or you didn't see taking place. And that has made you question everything moving forward. So what you need to know in this moment is that you are going to, you're going to master your material reality. The direction you're moving in is exactly where it is you are meant to go. And I know you're having doubts about what direction to go in or if you're capable of it. And the answer is yes, absolutely yes. There's not even a question there. I think in order to get past there, you need to truly let go of what it is that you had to let go of, because I feel like it's almost like you're still tied to it. There is this pull there which isn't serving you, and you need to be able to be at peace with that in order to step forward. Don't lose yourself trying to hold on to someone. So is this the ending that we were just talking about? And I get it. When we lose somebody that we love, whether it be, okay, so there's a couple of different things here. When we lose somebody that we were in a relationship with and we believe that was the relationship and we needed that person in our lives forever. This can be friendship. This can be maybe a relationship with family members. This can absolutely be friendship and romantic. I can't remember which one I started with. It is always devastating when one of these relationships end. The thing is, though, people come into our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And I have had a few friends that I thought would be lifetime friends, and they weren't. There was one friend that was in for 2 seasons. We had season number 1, and then we drifted apart. And then we came back together a number of years later, and we had this incredible friendship. And then out of the blue, everything imploded and the relationship ended. And she has since passed, unfortunately. And I was devastated when it happened. But with hindsight, I'm able to see the part that she played in my life. I'm able to appreciate the lessons and understand why she was there, and also understand why it ended when it did. Had she and I been as connected when she died suddenly and without warning, I am not sure that I would have coped with that happening. And as it was almost as if the universe protected me from dealing with that by dealing with the loss of the friendship many years earlier. It is a struggle to not lose yourself in what could have been, what should have been, what you think things should have been, or how they should have played out. But the reality is, for whatever reason, your soul contract was over and it's time for you to move on, because you've got other things you need to achieve in your life, as do they, and you're on different paths. So, yeah, whatever it is, whoever it is, you have to let go of it. Sometimes with family and there being a very, there being cords cut, it's really difficult. It's difficult understanding how family can separate in that way, but sometimes that's a healthier way for you to move through this life. So just take a step back and sit and reflect and be honest about what it is, and maybe reflect on what they brought to your life and why maybe it doesn't serve you anymore. And that will help you leave the past behind. Realize you have all the qualities to be a leader. So there is something that you are stepping into, but I think at the moment you're on this journey of closure, of release, and starting to understand what you are capable of and what you have within you. You also need to realize, in order to build the life that you want, you have to start understanding who it is you are. You have to start understanding that you do have the ability to master what it is you are creating. And when that starts to happen, then the universe will start providing. When you are stuck on something that was, and you are fixated on who this person was, what part they were meant to play, what you thought they would be forever and always, that's where things become stagnant. You're unable to move forward, and you need to realize that you deserve better and that things can be so much better for you. Lessons in life will repeat until they are learned. So we all talk about cycles that we see and that we experience in life. And the reality is, when we are not learning the lessons that we are meant to, we go around and around and around in circles. And look, sometimes the repetition of all of that serves us, because each time we go around, we learn a little bit more and we get a little bit stronger. And then we do it again and we go, okay, I'm not going to make the same mistakes. We make different mistakes, and then we continue on until one day we are finally out of that vortex and we are able to move forward. The universe then throws other challenges our way, but it's okay because we've leveled up. We understand our strength. We have that depth of knowledge that previously we didn't encapsulate. So you have all of that. So just know that if you feel like you're going around and around and around in circles, there is something that you haven't learned, and you need to pay attention to what that is. You need to be very, very, very honest about it in order for you to be able to move forward. 2015, I was lying by a pool in Hawaii and I was talking to somebody. I had never met them before. We met sitting by the pool and we were talking about relationships and all of that. And he said to me, "What's your pattern?" And I said, "I don't really have a pattern. I don't have a type. You know, if you lined all my exes up, nobody would be able to pick that they all dated the same woman because they were from all different walks of life. Physically, they all look different." And because in my head, I'm thinking of these men or women that date essentially lookalikes of their exes. It's just copycat, 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 you know, same wrapping, but on a slightly different soul. And he said to me, he goes, no, everyone has a pattern. And I reflected for a minute and then I gasped and I said, oh. And he said, "What is it?" And I said, "I date unavailable men." And he looked at me and I started listing all the ways all the men that I had dated were unavailable. Physically, emotionally, geographically, and like the list went on. And it was only once I had that realization that I was able to start making better choices. I'm not dating unavailable men anymore. Woohoo! It took a while to get there, but I got there. But I had to realize what the pattern was in order to be able to learn the lesson and stop it. So pay attention to what these cycles in your life are, because understanding that is going to serve you very, very well. On to messages from Spirit Oracle. Restriction, so limitations and hindrance. Your fixed perceptions might be causing unnecessary frustrations or hindering an opportunity. Break free from negativity, take a step back, and find a creative solution to the confined situation. You are creating your own restrictions right now, and it feels like you're chained and bound where you are. And you can see in this image, she's in a beautiful place. It looks like fall with all of those colors and the red leaves, all of that. But the chains are on her. She's not bound to anything. So this whole thing that we just talked about the cycles that are going on in your life and repeating these patterns, no matter what they are, it's time for you to recognize that, because that will free you. Being obsessed with hanging on to someone or some sort of relationship, finally releasing yourself from that is going to unburden you. Understanding that whatever it was that ended needed to end in order for your growth, for your movement forward. This person or this situation could not stay where it was in order for you to continue on to where it is you're meant to go. You have the ability to create the life that you want. You have the qualities of a leader. So the faster you deal with this other crap that is holding you back and keeping you tied up, the sooner life is going to get so much better for you and so much more exciting. Hard work, discipline, and commitment. Although you may not see immediate results from your efforts, know that the work you invest in now will bear much fruit later. Stay the course. You're on the path to attaining lasting financial security. We live in a world where, for the most part, we have immediate gratification. It's not always possible. But when you are working diligently and you are dedicated to what it is you're creating, you will be rewarded, and you have to trust that it will happen in time. I keep seeing an avocado tree. So many people start growing an avocado from a pit, right? So you've gone to the store, you've bought your avocado, you've eaten it, you've put the pit in water, it sprouts, amazing. You start growing a tree, and it's so exciting when all of these things happen. What you have to understand with an avocado tree, you are not going to get fruit for 13 years. So there is dedication in doing that. I'm not saying that that timing is correct. It's the metaphor to understand that when you work, when you take care of something, when you nurture something that you're growing and building, you get rewarded. Think about how freaking expensive avocados are. That 13 years while you're just living your life and doing your thing and you're just watering and it's fine. And then all of a sudden you have endless avocados for you and your family. Amazing. To me, that's a reward. So just know that whatever it is you're working on at the moment, if you're having a moment of going, right, I've recognized the patterns, I've let go of this person and I'm focused on me, and why hasn't everything shifted? It takes time. So this is your starting point. This is your starting point as you're freeing yourself of these weights and these chains. And from there, everything will start to shift. Shooting star, wish fulfillment arriving soon. Believe that whatever you are wishing for right now will come true, and it's just around the corner. This means it can arrive at any time. The universe is helping you and is on your side. So confirmation that what you're wishing for, what you're hoping to build, it will show up, and it's not going to be as far away as the avocados. It's right there. The universe wants you to win. It has to see you helping yourself, though. So this month, I feel like you really have a choice as to whether you want to stay stuck and chained and believing that you can't move forward and that life will never be good again. Or you can take that hard look at yourself, understand your patterns, be real. Maybe you need to speak to someone, have a bit of help to guide you through the process of letting go, guide you through why you make the choices you do that create these cycles that exist in your life. But then what's on the other side is freedom, the freedom to create the life that you want, the freedom to create the life that you are capable of building. So I would nurture the avocado pit. So the first card out from the Spirit Animal Oracle is Eagle Spirit. Spirit has your back. You are being supported. I love that the eagle is wearing a crown. You are supported. The universe wants you to win. It wants you to win. So give it the chance to help you get there. I almost turned this card upside down because I thought it was upside down. Bat Spirit. A rebirth is assured. I promise you that when you do the work this month and you are finally able to put some of this stuff to bed, everything that comes on the other side is so exciting, and a new version of you, all new adventures. You're going to welcome new people into your life, new opportunities, new chances for adventure. It's super exciting. When I ended the abusive relationship, I remember having a day out. It was a Sunday. It was a warm day. And I was sitting around with all these incredible musicians, a lot of them very well known in Australia. And I was just sitting there having a drink with these people. And I thought, in just a couple of months, how much my life has shifted for the better. even though that relationship almost completely destroyed me. And if you had have asked that woman sitting there that day, happy about where she was sitting and the people she was sitting with and the company she was keeping, she would have said, I'm so happy right now. I couldn't ask for any more. If you had have told her what was coming in her life later on, and that I would be living here in the US and doing things that I love and that feed my soul, I would have gone, how would I ever? But it was letting go of the vision that I'd had previously, letting go of this person that hurt me, and rebuilding my life in a way that suited me and I wanted to rebuild and create. And once I realized my own strength, whew, I was unstoppable. And I had a friend at the time. She was one of the only friends I had left after that relationship, because he did a really good job at isolating me. And she said one day, as I was so skinny, I was bordering on anorexic. A lot of my modeling clients were saying, if you lose another gram, we cannot hire you, because I was so skinny. And it was stress. I wasn't able to keep food down. And by the end of it, I wasn't hungry because I hadn't really been eating. And it was this whole thing. And I'm crying into this salad that I had. And my girlfriend looked at me and said, you are one of the strongest people I know. And I remember looking at her through tears, and I said, how can you say that? I am an absolute mess. I'm financially destroyed. I'm physically destroyed. Have a look at me. I can't even keep food down. And she said, Nat, what you survived, the way you're fighting back. And I was working so hard at the time. She said, I've never met anyone like you, and I don't think I could do it. And I remember at the time I didn't believe her. And I continued to sort of build my life and do what needed to be done. And then I got to the other side, and it was some months later where I sat back and I looked back at where I'd come from and where I was in that moment. And I thought, she was right. I'm really, really strong. And once I understood that, nothing else was ever able to sort of take me down again. I was able to create this space that I knew what, if I wanted to create something, I could. And if anybody told me no, it just made me more determined. And even though there have been setbacks and losses on my journey, none of it has ever kept me chained to that place I was in. I've allowed myself time to mourn whatever I've lost, to be sad about it, to feel all the feelings, to lie on the couch and eat a bag of chips or maybe a tub of ice cream, make myself feel sick, because that stuff never makes me feel good, but it tastes so good going down. And then the next day is a new day where I get up, put my big girl panties on, and continue on. So I feel like you're at this crossroads. Free will is a thing. You can stay exactly where you are. I don't think that's where you want to be. And so if you're able to focus on these few things in terms of the lessons, closing these chapters and really releasing them and letting them go, it's going to be a very exciting new chapter that you are opening and that you start on, and enjoy it and celebrate every single win that you have along the way. And now moving on to pile 3 for those of you that picked the Shungite. All right, let's get into this. Future Higher Self Oracle, new chapters require a new version of you. Whenever we're starting a new chapter, generally it means there's growth for us in some capacity. A new career path will be highly successful. Trust the magic of newness. So yeah, you're stepping into this new career path, and whether that, I don't know whether it's something you've been striving for and working towards, or if it's something that has presented itself as an opportunity. But I think this is really exciting, and the new version of you is essentially asking you to step up. And the thing that's interesting to me here, if you have a look at this card, the throat chakra is lit up. And I think Part of this is about you speaking up for what it is you want, what it is you need, and being very clear in this new path. You are going to make mistakes, and it's okay sometimes. You learn by messing up. This is so true. We always see mistakes as a failure. I screwed up. I made a mistake. I didn't do this. What we have to understand is sometimes we have to make these mistakes in order to understand the lesson, in order to be able to move forward with more knowledge, more understanding, and moving into the space that we are meant to. So we can have people tell us what it is we need to do, how we should be doing it, all of that. But sometimes there are things that we just need to learn on our own. And mistakes are the only way to do it. And rather than being really hard on ourselves and, oh, why did you do this? You screw up all the time. You do this, you do that. At least that's a self-talk that often happens in here. It's understanding that you've learned a valuable lesson, and the next time you try, you're going to do something different and you will achieve a different result. So give yourself credit with that, and especially the fact that you're moving in a new direction. You know you're going to be successful in that, but when you're navigating a new journey, there are mistakes to be made. It just is what it is. It's part of growing and learning in this human body. Let go. I mean, really let go. There's something better on the horizon. So is there something that you're still hanging on to? Is there something that's kind of hanging over your head and you're wishing for it to come back, or for somebody to come back, or to be present? Or maybe if it's a person, are they still in your life, but you know it's time to move on? And this doesn't need to just be romantic. It can be friendships. We outgrow friendships all the time. And you know what? That's okay. Sometimes we're not meant to do life with someone forever, and we have to trust that and move forward from there. I just want to see what this last one is. A powerful change will transform your life. So you've clearly got a lot of change that's coming in. Whatever this thing is, whatever it is you're letting go of, whether it be an idea of what something is meant to be, an idea of how a situation's meant to play out, a person, romantic, friendship that's not serving you, or maybe it's a career. If it's a career, just know that this is sitting right here. A new career will be highly successful. Trust the magic of newness. If you look at the last line or last couple of lines, something better on the horizon. So if it's a work thing, let it go. Step into the newness and trust that you're going to end up in a better place. There's clearly change going on. If it is a person, I know that if it's a relationship, we feel like we'll never love again, and how will I live without this person? The reality is you will. And when someone else comes in, you'll sit there and go, oh, thank God that other person's not here, because I never would have this incredible thing or this incredible person with me. And even with friendships, it's horrible when friendships end. It sucks. It sucks. And it can be as devastating as a relationship ending. But it leaves room for new people, new things, new situations to come into your life. And it's going to facilitate your growth. A new chapter requires a new version of you. A powerful change will transform your life. There is big change coming, and I just feel like there's this one little tie that you've got that's holding you back, and it's time to release that. And the other thing is, as you're navigating all of this, just be kind to yourself. Be kind when you screw up. Take the lesson and then just continue on. Okay, so we're looking at messages from Spirit Oracle. Infinite love, true love and romance. You are here to embrace love in its various forms. The love you are searching for is close by, but you must first release an old relationship to welcome a new one. Let love come and go freely. Okay, so is this a relationship that you're hanging on to? Is it a past love that you are pining for and hoping will come back, or you're allowing them to kind of keep you hanging on but not really be present? It's time to release all of that. And people always say, love finds you at the most unexpected moments. And I know it's true. I've seen it happen for so many people. And I hit a point where I just thought, I'm going to be single forever. I am going to be single forever. It just is what it is. I couldn't find a relationship in Melbourne sort of for a long time. And then I moved here and I dated, but nothing really. And then I end up falling in love with somebody who is we have a mutual friend. And my friend had been talking about this man for 3 years, 3.5 years. And in all that time, she kept saying, you guys should meet. And she wasn't even talking about romantically. And it wasn't right. It wasn't right. It wasn't right. And then randomly one day, it all comes together and it is what it is. So trust that when you let go of something, this new thing steps in. Celestial assistance, divine support, fated events. There is something that is destined to be yours and yours alone. Trust in the power of divine forces to gently guide you towards where you should be. Stick with it and see where it takes you. It's time to let go and just trust the universe. Let it guide you. Let it provide or take you to these fated events so that you can live the life that you are meant to be living. I think so often we're hanging on to things that don't serve us. We're hanging on to the idea of what we want things to look like versus what is actually going to serve us. And I think it's time this month that you actually just release and let the universe guide you exactly where you're meant to be. Career is going to be good. Love is going to be good. I mean, if career is good, money's good. If you're able to let go of the ideas of a past relationship and you've got true love, what more do you need? The rest of these things fall into place. Passion ignited. It's time to find joy in life's simple pleasures whenever you learn to enjoy in what lights you up, that your vibration will rise and attract more passion and contentment in your life. So this is the whole thing. It's about the law of attraction. When you are happy, when you release it all and let things flow in and you're able to go, oh my God, I feel love again and I feel desired and wanted and all of that, it brings more of that energy to you. And this is what you have to trust. Hunter, ambition, survival. You are ready to take on a new challenge and venture into uncharted territory. Trust your instincts to adapt to the changing circumstances. You'll come out stronger on the other side. See, this is all about change. This is all about finding the warrior woman or man, warrior woman or warrior male within you and going on that journey, going into uncharted territory and knowing that you will come out victorious. When you tap into that hunter, that ambition and survival, you're going to tap into this at the same time. Because you're in uncharted territory, you have to trust to a certain extent to get to the other side. And you are completely capable of this. This is also good for you. I mean, you really couldn't ask for a better reading for the month. The big part that's relying on you relying on you is letting go of something that isn't serving you. I'm guessing it's a relationship. And then trusting the universe, letting go and going, you know what? Take me where I'm meant to go. Take me. And as you're being taken there, tap into this woman or tap into this energy and know that you're able to tackle whatever is being presented. Seahorse spirit. So we're looking at the spirit animal oracle. Watch and wait. I feel like this isn't so much about biding your time. This is about trusting the universe and letting go of control and waiting for these opportunities and changes to present themselves. Because a powerful change will transform your life. So it's all sitting there. This to me is telling me it's that you're not in control of the timing of this. Divine timing, it's a thing, and it frustrates me beyond belief because I am the world's most impatient person. But the reality is everything happens at the time that it's meant to. And then the final card is koi fish spirit. There is always enough. Have you been coming from a place of lack? Because when you come from a place of lack, you're not going to have enough. You have to remember that you are always provided for, that you have enough, and there always will be enough. And then the universe will continue to provide. It's like having the passion ignited, desire and excitement. When you're in that space, you continue to attract more of that excitement and that energy of people desiring you and wanting you. It's the same with the energy of, is there enough? So you need to come from a place of not just gratitude, but understanding that there is plenty that is provided for you. I think this is a really exciting week. And I think sometimes letting go of things that don't serve us can be difficult. At the same time, though, there is a freedom in releasing all of that. And sometimes we need to be prodded a little bit because it's very easy to stay in a space that we're familiar with, even if that's misery, for lack of a better word. So release whatever or whoever it is. You've got this new career path. You are leveling up. Like I said, make sure you're in touch with your throat and that your throat chakra is open, because you are going to be required to speak the things that you want, wants, need, desires. Maybe you're going to be required to speak and be able to articulate what it is that is required or what it is you need. Maybe it's just telling the people that you're going to be working with what it is you need in terms of financially, what you're being paid, what support you need, all of that. So make sure your throat is open and you're ready to go. Be open to change and trust the universe. Let it take you where you're meant to go. I feel like this is incredibly exciting. So have a wonderful, wonderful September. As I always say with every reading, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Thank you so much for joining me for the September monthly reading. Make sure to check out the weekly Oracle Wisdom, and I will be back next month, and we'll be having a look at October. Blows my mind that that's where we are, but that's what we'll be looking at, and I will see you all soon.